Today we're going to be comparing numbers. It says show the numbers on the place value chart using digits. Use the following symbols. When I look at these symbols, I always look for this one because sometimes I get confused which one means greater, which one means less. How do you know when one's should be pointing a certain direction? How do you know when it should be pointing a different direction? Whichever way the mouth opens. Look at where I've circled this. It looks kind of like lip sticking out there, doesn't it? Can I kind of do the same with this one too? Maybe? Kind of like a Pac-Man type thing. I always think of it as those symbols are going to the buffet. Whichever one's going to eat the most. Okay, that's the one that the mouth is going to eat. And then we have this symbol right here. What does that symbol mean?
It means like if the numbers are the same, they're equal to.
Means they're both equal, exactly. So let's look at these two numbers for a minute. Raise your hand if, how about give me a thumbs up if you think the top number is the largest number, and give me a thumbs down if you think the bottom number is the largest number. So, thumbs up if the top number is the largest, thumbs down if the bottom number is the largest. Well, we know they're not equal, so I'm not going to ask you about equal. Okay, I see some thumbs up. I did this as maybe a little trick. Some people might think this is the biggest number because there's more numbers in it, right? But it's not, because if you look at each place, when you compare two numbers, you start at the left and move to the right, and you compare the two. So we start with these two numbers. Are they the same or are they different? Everybody. Same. Then you look at these two. Are they the same or are they different? Different. Which one's bigger? The 6. I just stop right there. There's no need to go any further because I know that 36 is going to be larger than any number that follows that. Because the farther you get, remember, the smaller it goes. Okay, so we have a place value chart on number 1. I want you to go ahead and write those numbers in the blanks. Raise your hand if you can read that top number to me. 34 and 223 thousandths. You guys agree? Okay, good. Who can read the second one to me? 34 and 232 thousandths. Where am I going to start? When I compare these two numbers, where should I start? At the 3. Start at the beginning. Compare the two numbers. Are they the same or are they different? Everybody. What do I do now? Go to the next number. Are they the same or are they different?
Same.
Then what do I need to do? Go to the left or go to the
Right.
go to the right? Same or different?
Same.
Go to the next place. Same or different?
Different.
Which number is larger, 2 or 3? 3. So I now know that 34 and 232 thousandths is greater than 34 and 223 thousandths. So what's my mouth going to be open to? Okay, what's my mouth going to be open to? That one right there. See, they put the 3 at the end of the other number to trick you. And the 2 at the end of that number to trick you, because some people just want to take the shortcut and just say, okay, boom, boom, I'm done. That's not the way you do it, is it? So, hopefully you've written that in your book, right? Let's look at the next problem. Write that on your paper. Raise your hand if you could tell me which number is the largest. Which number is the largest? Okay, how would I say that? What place is that 8 in? Okay, you would say that 8/10. Why is 8 larger than 706 thousandths? Because 706 thousandths looks like there's more numbers to me. Okay, so when I get to 10ths place, the two numbers change, right? They're different, and 8 is greater than 7, so my mouth, which number will my mouth be eating? Everybody. 8/10. It says to explain why off to the side. Well, the reason is that the value changes what place does the value change in? Everybody? What place did the value change in? Everybody? Okay, in the 10th place. You can think of it again like money. If I have 8 dimes or 7 dimes, I would rather have 8 dimes. Because then I could get a pop out of the machine and maybe 1 or 2 more things depending on how cheap the pop machine is, right? Am I allowed to talk about pop in school now? I can't remember. Okay, let's look at the next problem. You just greater than, less than, or equal to compare the following. Use a place value chart to help if necessary. I'm going to have you work through these with your neighbor. I'll give you a few minutes to work on it. You might want to make a place value chart. When I have a situation like this, right here, what should I probably do with that number? What do you think I should probably do with that number? Turn it into a decimal. So if I have 83 over 100, raise your hand if you can tell me what that looks like. 0.83? What needs to go in there? Huh? And what do we call that thing? What is that called?
A decimal.
Decimal. So when you have a number that looks like a fraction, or if you have something like this that is word form, put it in standard form first. Remember, standard form is when you write the number out like this. Okay, so try A through G with your neighbor, and we will go over these in a few minutes. Okay, let's look at these problems. A, who can read the first number to me?
16 and 3/10.
Okay, we're going to compare 16 and 3/10 to 16 and 4/10. And if you did the chart like they had up above, then you would see that which number is larger? 16 and 4/10. So they're going to the buffet and they're going to eat the most amount. 16 and 4/10. In B, everybody, how do you say that first number?
8300.
Everybody, how do you say the second number?
8300.
What symbol is going to go in that circle? Everybody.
The equal sign.
Everybody, C, how do you read that first one?
205,000.
How do you read the second one?
205,000.
Did you say the same thing?
Yes.
So what symbol is going to go in that box?
Equal sign.
I think they're trying to trick you on the next one. You know, I'm not quite sure about this number when I look at it. I know that I've learned that they can be pretty tricky sometimes. So I'm going to use a strategy that my teacher taught me a long time ago, and I'm going to write the numbers on top of each other. Because the top one and the bottom they look different. But when I stack them on top of each other, I see that these are the same, these are the same, these are the same, these are the same, but this place is different. What's the value of 0? Nothing. Is 0 larger than any number that you've seen? Negatives. So if I were comparing these two numbers, do they both pretty much have the same value? Yeah, I mean, I could add, if I wanted to come up here and just say, okay, I'm going to add 0, 0, 0, 0. Would they still be the same? Yes, they would. So in this case, what symbol am I going to put in that spot? Equal. Raise your hand if you can tell me what you put in the next place.
9
Okay, 9 and 1/10 is larger than 9 and 99 thousandths. Why? Why is it larger? Why is 9 and 1/10 greater than 9 and 99 thousandths? Okay, because the value of 1/10 is greater than nothing. Okay, you need to learn how to explain, and I'm telling you how to explain as we go along. This one threw a few people off. If I have 10 pennies, let's just say I have 10 pennies right now, okay? I have 10 pennies. What number would be in the 10th place? If I were to have 10 pennies right now, what number would be in the 10th place?
1.
A 1. What number would be in the hundredths?
0.
A 0. What if I had 150 pennies? So I have 150 pennies. How much is a penny worth?
1 cent.
1 cent. How many pennies make up a dollar?
1 penny.
100. So if I have 150 pennies, how many hundreds do I have? If I have 150 pennies, how many hundreds do I have? If I have 150 pennies, if 1 penny is worth 100th, how many hundredths do I have?
1. 50 cents.
No. Let's think about this. I have 150 pennies. How many hundredths do I have? This is where you're going to get confused, because your mind wants to tell you how many whole numbers I have and how many dimes I have, but if I just have pennies, all I have in my pocket is 150 pennies. How many hundreds? If I were to start pulling the hundreds out of my pocket right now, how many total would I pull out? Well,
50.
so if my mother gives me 150 pennies that I stick in my pocket, of course I have bulging pockets now, and I completely empty my pocket, how many hundredths do I have? 150. See, this is where this new math can get kind of confusing for some of you, because you automatically know that you can't put 150 in one place, right? I mean, you get to 10, you move it over. So let's think about this. If I have 150 pennies, I don't want 150 pennies. How many dollars would that make? If I had 150 pennies, how many dollars would that make? Make $1. And how many cents? $1.50, right? So in this case, if I have 83 tenths, what do I have? What do I have? Think about it like dimes. How many dimes make up a dollar? 10 dimes. And how many sets do I have? So if I have 83 cents, how many dimes do I have? 8 dimes and 3 pennies, but that's not what it's asking, is it? Right now it's saying you have the number 83 in the tenths place. So, how many tenths do I have? Okay, you could have 3 tenths actually, because how many wholes does that make? 8 and 3 tenths. Another way to look at it is, what's going to be the last number in the tenths place? Everybody, what's going to be the last number in the tenths place? 3. You just start backwards. Put the 3 in the tenths place. Move the 8 over to your left. So 8 and 3 tenths, is that the same as 8 and 3 tenths? 5 and 8 tenths, the same as 58 hundredths, is that right?
It's not right because 58 hundredths is behind the decimal and 5 is a whole number. So that means 5 and 8 tenths is greater than 58 hundredths.
Okay, 5 and 8 tenths is greater than 58 hundredths. At which place did the value change?
It changed so the 5 was in the ones place at first, but okay, and then when it's 58 hundredths it's in the tenths place.
Okay, so when did these two numbers change to show that they're not the same? At which place? The ones, the tenths, or the hundreds? If I were to stack them on top of each other, in which place are they different? Yeah, in the ones place. So the value was different in the ones place. So get your next page. I'm going to have you try these with your partner on your own. So when I come around, I should see you guys with your double line of boxes like they did in question number 1. And writing those numbers out. Let's look at this next one. Number 3. It says arrange the numbers in increasing order. Well, what do you think you're going to do with that? What's that mean? Increasing.
Make it go from bigger to the
What do you think?
bigger to smaller.
Increasing. So think opposite now.
Small to big.
Small to big. Could you use a place value chart on this as well? Sure. You could write the numbers on top of each other. So if we go in increasing order, that means we're going to start with the smallest number and get bigger. Let's look at our first column. Are they all the same or are they different? They're all the same. These are all the same. Look. Is that the same number all the way down? Guys, I know it's Monday and we're having a hard time focusing, but try to get there. Look at the next number over. Is it all the same or is it different?
Same.
So I'm going to highlight that because I don't need that right now. Look at that next column. Is it same or is it different? Different. Numbers in increasing order. What am I looking for? The biggest or the smallest number right now? Biggest or smallest? Everybody?
Smallest.
Okay, I'm looking for the smallest. Which is smallest? 4 or 5? 4 is the smallest. So I'm not going to worry about 5 right now. I'm just looking at the 4s. We're going to go smallest. Next column over. Which is the smallest number? 0. So my first number will be once I write that down, you know, guys, it's just a matter of taking time to write stuff down. It makes it easier for you. What do you think my next number is going to be? What's my next number going to be?
The next number that you're going to put down is 3 and 5 hundredths.
Well, not yet. We still have one number left. We're going to cover these two. What's my other one I have left? Huh?
Okay, 3 and 49,000.
Okay. 3 and 49 thousandths would be next. I'm going to cross that out. Now let's look at our last two numbers that we have here. They're all the same up until this place, right? So what's going to go next? Three and 5 hundredths. And what's my final number going to be? 3 and 59 thousandths. If it says arrange the numbers in decreasing order, which way are you going? From biggest to
Smallest.
If you're going in increasing order, you're going from smallest to
Biggest.
I have one more problem I want to show you, and I'm going to have you work on your problem sets with your neighbor. It says Lance measured 485 thousandths liter of water. Angel measured 5/10 liter of water. Lance said, my beaker has more water than yours because my number has 3 decimal places and yours only has 1. Is Lance correct? Use words and numbers to explain your answer. Well, when I look at something like this, it's confusing, guys. Right? It's confusing. But there's a way to make it where it's not confusing. It's called break it down. Take one piece of information at a time. So, Lance How much did Angel have? 5/10. Lance said his is the biggest because it has 3 numbers. Is he correct? Is he correct? No. Why is he not correct? No, because 5 is greater Lance has The answer is no, because 5 is greater than 4. Lance has 4/10. Angel has 5/10. Okay, number 6. Dr. Hong prescribed 19 thousandths liter more medicine than Dr. Tannenbaum. Dr. Evans prescribed 2 hundredths less than Dr. Hong. Who prescribed the most medicine? Who prescribed the least? Explain how you know using a place value chart. This is one of those I hated when I was a kid growing up, as in who did it? I still never knew who did it by the time I was done. So who are our 3 main people in this question? We have Dr. Hong, we have Dr. Tannenbaum, and we have Dr. Evans. What do we know about Dr. Hong? What did they tell us about Dr. Hong? Okay, we know that he made 19 thousandths more than Dr. Tannenbaum, right? So if I were to put them in order right now, from greatest to least, going backwards here, who prescribed the most so far? Dr. Hong, because he did 0.19. How would you say 0.19? Everybody say that number?
19,000.
Then Mr. Tannenbaum. So we know that there's an increase of 19 thousandths. But then Dr. Evans comes into this whole picture. Dr. Evans prescribed 2 hundredths less than Dr. Hong. How much less did Dr. Tannenbaum go? How much did Dr. Evans go? Two hundredths. So far, all of these other two guys, Dr. Evans and Dr. Tannenbaum, have prescribed less than Dr. Hong. Well, if I look at that, I would be inclined to instantly say, oh, well, 200ths is the least because 19 thousandths, that seems pretty big. It says to use a place value chart. You think we should use a place value chart on this? To see who prescribed the least amount? So if I were to make a little chart, and I'm just going to use Dr. Evans and Dr. Tannenbaum, kind of like what you did a little bit ago, remember? With your double lines. What are the two numbers that we have that we're working with?
19 thousandths and 200ths.
So we have 19 thousandths, and we have 2 hundredths. Who was 19 thousandths? Dr. Tannenbaum. Who was 2 hundredths? Dr. Evans. Who has the biggest number right there? Dr. Evans. So if I were to go in order from smallest to greatest, who do we automatically know has the most? Dr. Hong. We know Dr. Hong has the most because everybody has, it says less than what he has, right? Prescribed. So who do you think is the one with the second most amount? Dr. Evans. And who is the one with the least amount? Dr. Tannenbaum. T-E-H, not to be confused with T-H-E. So, who prescribed the most medicine? Dr. Hong prescribed the most medicine. Who prescribed the least?
Dr. Tannenbaum.
Dr. Tannenbaum prescribed the least. Explain how you know. How did you know that Dr. Tannenbaum prescribed the least amount compared to Dr. Evans? And it told you that which number is greatest? Okay. So the chart shows that 2 hundredths is greater than 19 thousandths. Well, I don't even have to write that.